Hello and welcome to Literati on News Central, the show where we explore the magical worlds created by Africa's brightest literary star. I'm your host, Judith Atibi, and here literature meets life. Each episode, we explore the stories behind the stories, dive into books that didn't just leave on the page, they spark something in us: curiosity, courage, and compassion. Today, we explore Ever Obi's haunting and fearless novel, Some Angels Don't See God, a story that weaves trauma, memory, and the impossibility of forgetting. The novel centers on Neta Okoye, a successful author admired for her brilliance and presumed perfection. Yet behind that mask lies a childhood scarred by incest with a twin brother, Neta, who inflicted by their own teenage cousin, Chidinma. As Neta uncovers her past through fiction, she reconnects with Peter, a former university, or rather childhood lover and friend. But their relation or their reunion brings painful revelations, including the fact that Peter's father died because of Neta's father's actions. Now, through a non-linear narrative, the book explores how trauma, secrecy, guilt, and forgiveness collide. In essence, the past is never dead. It never refuses to let go. And today I have the author with me. Ever Obi is a writer and financial executive. His debut novel, Men Don't Die, garnered critical praise. Some Angels Don't See God, his second novel, was shortlisted for the 2023 Anna Prize Prose Prize. I always mix the two. But Obi merges literary fiction with speculative elements and explores taboos rarely addressed in Nigerian literature. Ever, welcome to Literati.
Thank you, Judith.
Thank you for being here. I wonder, how do you juggle the hats between being a financial executive and also being an author?
It's not easy, but at the end of the day, if something holds the level of importance writing holds in my life, if it holds it, you have to make out time.
It's very clear from your character, Neta, and I wonder if that was drawn from you as well and your love for literature. Was it?
Some parts of her. Some parts of her.
You wrote Angels Don't See God, right? And you talk on it's a very compelling tale, an unflinching tale on heavy themes of taboo, incest. Why did you decide to write the story? And what even, inspired it?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of experiences, and I've had some experiences too. And at the end of the day, I wanted to address those uncomfortable topics. People go through these things. People are still going through these things, and we don't talk enough about these things, and we don't even write enough about them. So it was me just, trying to hold up a mirror. So whenever people connect with the themes of this book, I just realized that at the end of the day, I've written about something that, we have all in some ways either passed through or have people pass through. And then that's why we just sit and we say, okay, this is the book for me.
Very, very, very heavy, I will say. The title is quite misleading, by the way. Some Angels Don't See God. And I'm always very intrigued when people come up with titles like that. We've seen even more catchier ones in recent times. But what spurred you to Some Angels Don't See God?
Yeah, two things. I was trying to, get the title in my head. When this title came, I just knew this was the title. And it's a figurative expression of some sort. It was me trying to say angels are supposed to see God, in quote. I mean, you would think that all angels see God. So when you say some angels don't see God, you're saying that things are not the way they seem. You said something about Neta, for instance, when you were trying to introduce the book, how Neta has that presumed perfection about her, but then she had all those baggage she was carrying from childhood. So it was me saying things are not the way they seem. And coincidentally, Neta's middle name was, Angela, Angel.
Yeah.
So this is me. So Neta is, the main character, and then just saying that things are not the way they seem. That's the title. That's what it means.
Neta's character is female.
Yes.
And it's rooted in early trauma, right? Yeah. That oftentimes goes undetected. Yeah. But what's even more jarring about this is that it is perpetrated by her own twin brother, who also was it was also, he became his own abuser, which was also done by a close family member as well. That narrative sort of shows the normalization of such experiences that oftentimes are family secret. I mean, when you start this book, it's like, okay, where is it heading? At first, the first, 50 pages in, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? What's going on? We think it's a reconnection of old lovers, but hold up, there's so much happening, right? Writing from a woman's point of view and then jumping back to a male point of view, let's start there. How difficult was it? And let's now talk about the normalization of such experiences long term.
Yeah, a lot of things, go into writing a book. And when you're trying to build your characters up, you need to get to a particular level of intimacy to be able to write about them properly. Essentially, I live through my characters. When I write about a real place, I never write about a real place without visiting a real place. My first book, I needed to write something about Makoko. I went to Makoko. I needed to write about Port Harcourt. I went to Port Harcourt. So when I have, when I'm writing a woman as a main character, one of my main characters, I can't, of course, become a woman. But what I do is I try to bring, women involved. When I wrote Some Angels Don't Sing, I had to give it to women to read. So the one thing I never want, the one thing that would break my heart is for women to pick my book and they read it and say, what is it writing? No, women are not supposed to do this. This is not supposed to be the experience. So I had cousins who are, women. I had, friends who are women who read the book even before it went for editing. So that was what I did. And in terms of the question you asked about normalization is, the reality is that it's easy for the young mind to normalize whatever it is that it is exposed to at that formative stage. So as parents, the tragedy is not in some of these things happening. The tragedy is that they happen and we miss them and they fester, they keep happening, and then the young mind just normalizes that and you begin to find excuses for that when you grow up. Remember when Jetta was trying to tell Neta, trying to make big examples from the Bible of all places, of how there were sisters and brothers, being involved in incestuous relationship with one another, and then it was not a problem. Yeah, so the tragedy was that these things were missed when they were happening, and then they were allowed to go on for so long. And by the time the parents discovered, that was not, they were not going to come back from that.
Right. Yeah. And seemingly loving families as that, attentive families who try to be attentive. Yeah. And I feel bad for the twin parents, right? I really feel bad because the father, Jikora, is, doing his best that he possibly can, trying to provide, trying to be a father, and also trying to be an upstanding guy, in his, whether workplace or even in his own relationships, and also trying to be loyal and faithful to his wife. There's also Edna as well, who's doing his best, and that's the mother of the twins as well. And so they are doing their best to be present, to show them this very rounded individuals, but somehow it slips through the cracks. Yeah. And I want you to talk about that from the point of view of parenting. How can parents even, be everything? Is it possible to be everything?
No, it's not possible to be everything. And I think sometimes people become bad at parenting without even knowing it. And one of the lessons, I don't write books to teach lessons.
Well, unfortunately, I remember I was having, it was a Samuel Kolawole, and I asked him that question right after that, and he says, the truth of the matter is that oftentimes we start off not wanting to teach, but it just so happens that we teach at the end, it becomes didactic.
It happens, yeah. Very, very, very correct. I believe in books that teach you subliminal lessons. Yeah. So, but one of the lessons that I hope that people take from this book is about parenting. Maybe I could approach it in 3 ways. One is that you don't fully trust anybody. So no matter it's your cousin, it's an uncle, somebody, you don't fully trust, anybody. And you should also be able to create that environment where children learn how to express themselves.
My guest today is Ever Obi. He's the author of Some Angels Don't See God. We've been talking about the characterization of this book, the narrative, the themes, but most importantly, inspiration behind this. Let's go on a short break. When we return, we're going to be talking about the power of storytelling and how the character of this book, Neta's storytelling, was able to reconnect her with her childhood love. After the break, stay with us.
Africa needs its own storytellers, people who understand the continent because they're from it. People who know that news is more than just a conversation starter, it's our stories. Because these stories run deeper than headlines and segments. It's about digging deeper to get the facts and telling the human side of every single story, not just the echoes from foreign headlines and perspectives. It's time to take back our narratives and share them in our voices. The birth of Africa's New Age reporting, and this is where it begins, right here at News Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.
Watching Literati on News Central Television. My name is Judith Atibi. I'm your host, and my guest today is Ever Obi. He's a writer and financial executive. His book we're discussing is Some Angels Don't See God, a misleading name, but very true. Some angels truly don't see God. In this case, we're following the life of Neta and her childhood love friend and now turned lover, Peter Pirot, as their life intertwined in this book, this tale of taboo, trauma, and of course, incest. There's so much happening in this book. If you haven't, before the break, we were talking about the narrative as well as the characterization. But as we talk about characterization, let's get into Neta and Peter. They reconnected through Neta's novel, which mirrors her life, right? And the question I want to ask is that as you're writing this book, do you have somebody too that you want to reconnect with you?
Somebody I would want to reconnect with.
Oh, you took the question seriously. It was a joke.
Oh, thank God. Thank God it was a joke. Oh, thank God. No, but, so I don't have to answer.
But I want you to just talk about the power of storytelling and just the potential in terms of what it reveals, but most importantly, heals for you.
Yeah. I've always said that fiction is the most important form of writing. It's actually the most important form of reading. Because there's a lot that it teaches us. It gets you to that point where you're able to write or read without having your gavel, without judgment. To me, for instance, when I'm writing these characters, no matter how good or how vile or despicable they are, I don't have good and evil characters. I don't have protagonists in my head. I don't have antagonists. So I just see them as characters that I need to tell their stories without considerable bias, and then people can read them and try to understand them. The most important thing when you write fiction or when you read fiction, it helps you to understand people, try to see what people do, their actions, and try to understand the rationales behind those actions. From there, you can improve on some things, learn whatever you want to learn, and then be less hard on people. Try to understand, people. It's easy for people, for instance, to read Jetta and say, "Oh, he is a demon. He did this and he did that."
Well, he is,
but when I wrote Jetta, I wanted people to see him as a victim, the same way that Neta is actually a victim.
One of the things I'm relearning is that there are no perfect victims.
Yeah.
There are no perfect victims. But in this book, you touch on very heavy themes, just besides the incest and trauma and sexual abuse and violence. But you also talk about mental health, talk about depression, betrayal, and you even touch on the Osu caste system as well. Neta's last name, parents changed their last name. We're giving away the book. Sorry, I'll stop at this point. Right?
Anita.
Yeah, sorry, Anita. Anita, his childhood friend. They changed the Osu caste system. They changed their name from Nwosu to sweets. Very interesting.
Yeah.
But why was it essential for you to? I wonder if, you know, in you weaving all of this very, very subtly, very sublime, you do them very sublime in touching all of this, especially the Osu caste system. How do you see that being weaved into a broader societal element that we see play out today? Does the Osu system, caste system, still something that is still at the fore in terms of, you know, the Igbo culture and ontology and community?
Yeah, very much.
Really?
Very much. If let's say I wanted to get married today, and I bring a lady home and say, oh, this is the lady I want to marry. The first thing, of course, my people would do is to do something called Ijuese, which is, you know, have someone go and, you know, do some investigation, some research to find out about the family. If the person comes back and says, oh, they're Osu, I don't think, except I want to do it, except I want to disrespect and disobey my parents and say, you know what, I don't care what you say, I'm going through with it, but I don't see what in the world that would make them allow me to marry an Osu. So it is still there. In writing about it, there is something I wanted to achieve, and that was why I wrote about it in this book. I wanted to achieve, to point to the fact that an Osu family is made up of successful people. And it wasn't really a big factor. These people, they were Osu. But you could see how successful Mr. Sweet was. And you could see how he took care of Peter after Peter's father died.
Right.
This is a man that, imagine if Peter's father was, you know, the kind of person that would say, I'm not going to be friends with this guy because he's an Osu. But Mr. Sweet, the Osu man, was there for him, for his wife, for his children after his death. So I wanted to point out the fact that these people you call Osu, some of them, or they are normal. They are not subhuman. They are not subhuman. That's what I wanted to point out. And that is why I, you know, brought it into that. The same thing I try to do with adoption. How we try to stigmatize adopted children in this part of the world. How we don't see them as real children of whoever it is that adopted.
Right.
But I think people who adopt children deserve more credit. So I wanted to paint that picture. That was what I did with Peter, to say, oh, he was adopted, but you could see how it never really affected his life.
Right.
The family accepted him and said, this is our boy. Even
He
when
was
they had
loved.
another child, he was loved. And then it was never an issue. And then he went through his life as an adopted child, and then it was never an issue. So I wanted to paint that picture. I wanted to show people that, you know, these things can be this way if we kind of tweak our mentality and begin to understand these things differently and begin to say to ourselves, there are things that shouldn't have stigma around them. And then we should begin to drop them consciously.
Just lastly, before I let you go, there was a devastating twist that links the past and the present. I can't give away that. I'm sorry, you have to read the book. Forgive me. But just why did you choose that devastating twist to sort of reveal the emotional stakes between Peter and Neta?
Which twist? No?
The car accident. The father's.
Oh.
I give away the book. I was trying not to.
So, I was trying to be fair to Peter. At the end of the day, he was always going to leave Neta, and Anita Sweet was always going to, you know, be back on the scene.
Yeah, just giving away the book.
Sorry, guys. But I didn't want people to read Peter and hate Peter and say, oh, he never loved her. I didn't want it to be that case. So I wanted a revelation that they had to go through together. And at the end of the day, despite what his mom had said, he still got to that place where he said, you know what, I don't care. It wasn't your fault. It was your father. And your father did not, you know, take a gun and shoot my own father. It was an accident, whatever it was that happened. I'm still going to stick with you. You know, he had made that decision before the bigger one.
Yeah.
When Jetta was out of prison.
Yeah,
and then he just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
And it coincided with Anita Sweet's return.
Right.
So I revealed it then, at the point I revealed it, because I wanted them to go through it. I wanted people to see that, you know, he really loved her.
You just gave away the book. I don't know why I even
sorry guys.
Anyway, Eva, so there's a tradition with you here on the show.
Let me say something, Judith. I could listen to you talk about my book all day.
Gosh.
I just needed to say that.
Eva, thank you.
I just needed to say that.
Thank you so much. That will not still make you not play this game.
Okay, I'm ready.
So there's a tradition with the Literati. It's called Humor Judith game show. It's a rapid fire question. I throw questions at you very quickly, and you have to answer very, You can't think.
Okay.
You cannot overthink. Just immediately, first thing that pops in your head.
Okay.
One book you wish every Nigerian would read. You're overthinking.
I'm overthinking. I'm overthinking. Okay. Oh, God. Sorry. Okay, one book I wish every Nigerian would read. I would say every Nigerian should... I would go back to the works of Judith Atibi, the reason I started writing, actually. Okay. Yeah, I would say the book called Tears.
Tears.
They might not be able to find it.
It's not in print anymore. Please find the one
I would say, okay, the one you can read. So I think every writer should, writer
reader, Nigerians, book they should. Eva, come on now.
Someone just don't see God.
There you go, just something.
Someone just don't see God, guys.
Fictional or real place you'd escape for peace?
A real place
that you escape to for peace.
Paris?
A fictional or real place? Paris?
Yeah.
For peace?
Yeah, it was peaceful.
Really?
For what it was then. The place I was staying.
Okay. Yeah. One early memory from Aba that still speaks to you.
I saw a man get killed by Bakassi boys. My brothers ran inside the house, and I stayed at the balcony and I watched them, hands behind his back. I was probably like 9 or 10. He just never left me.
Moving on. Okay. Scene in the movie that startled even you, or a scene in the novel that startled you as you wrote it?
The last, the rape scene.
A writer, African or not, whose craft you admire the most?
I have a couple of them.
Give me two.
I should give you two.
One African, one non-African.
One African, one non-African.
Yeah.
Stephen King,
okay.
Non-African. One African.
Yes.
Are you sure? People are going to fight.
Two African. Two African.
Let me quickly give you 5. Sorry. Chigozie Obioma, Abubakar Adam Ibrahim, Obinna Odenwe, Ikenoke, Chindu Efogolum.
That's okay.
I have.
You said 5.
Onyekanwelue.
It's okay. It's 5. You said. It's 5.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
If you weren't a novelist, I mean, you'd be a financial executive. If you were not a financial executive or a novelist, what would you be?
A guitarist.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, I like that. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, what I'm talking about. Yeah. A comfort food that grounds you.
Food?
Yeah. Comfort food.
Comfort food.
Yeah. You can't think about it. Come on now.
Comfort food. Oh, there's this small balls of candy called
Maltesers?
No, what's the name? They got everything right.
Eva, you are such a... You're killing me. You are horrible at this game.
Is it Rochella or something? I don't know what it's called.
What? The chocolate one? The one that's wrapped in the gold wrapper?
White. It just melts in your mouth. The oral sensation, everything is just perfect.
Moving on. Quote you return to when life spirals.
Who?
A quote that you return to when life is spiraling.
Yeah, it's a quote by Reina Maria Rilke. Okay. When he was one of his letters to the young Capos, and he says he was talking about being an artist. So he said, in living like an artist, there's no measuring with time. 1 year does not matter, and 10 years are nothing. Being an artist means ripening like a tree that doesn't force its sap, right? But remains confident through the springs, through the storms of spring, unafraid that summer may not come, but it comes only to those who are patient.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
One line from your novel you'd tattoo on your heart. You're killing me. Let me just move on. Sorry. What does it mean to finally see God as an angel?
Just to have peace.
I would say perfection.
To have peace, yeah. Perfection. Yeah, but perfection is there. But just because it can't be reached. Right. It can't be reached.
Because if you can see God, that means it's perfection.
That's perfection.
Yeah, I feel it's perfection. Yeah. Can you see how easy it is to answer the question? Can you see how easy it is to answer the question?
I'm bad officially. I'm bad at this game.
Come on, carry this guy.
Oh, please forgive me. How terrible.
You lead a dual career. You're tackling risk management by day, fiction by night. How did these two worlds inform each other for you, and how has your, your upbringing in Aba shaped your writing voice? Very quickly, because we're out of time.
My upbringing has, shaped everything I write is from my experience. In fact, I have a book that I'm currently working on, which is going to be, about Aba. And in terms of, combining the financial services world and writing, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But I just draw consolation from something my mom, used to say. She used to tell me, "Oh, man that is born of woman is of few days and full of trouble."
What? Please write it down. Can you put it in my own copy?
I will.
That is brilliant.
I will. But when I got older, I realized she was, speaking from Job 14.
Oh.
But essentially, I understood what she was trying to say. She was trying to say nobody ever promised you that life was going to be easy. So when I get to that place when I'm not writing enough because I have some other things to do, I just say to myself, I'll keep pulling through this because I never expected any of these things to be easy.
Oh gosh, that is beautiful. Ever, you're such a fun guest. Thank you so much for coming on. And congratulations. Your book has gone on to third print. That is amazing. Well done. You have a bestseller. We can't wait for the third novel. I'm certain it's going to be long-listed and short-listed for all of the prices.
Hopefully.
You got it in the bag. Well done, and thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Ever Obi has been my guest right here on Literati. We've been talking about his book, Some Angels Don't See God. And that's what we got to take on Literati. Make sure to tune in next time. Until then, I'm your host, Judith Atibi, and keep reading. Bye for now.